With just a few hours left before the rover touches down on Mars, we're going to take a look at some of the components that make up the rover itself. The rover has 23 different cameras. Some of the cameras are on the landing system itself, and the rest of the cameras are on the rover. The main cameras are located on the mast. The mast has a set of stereoscopic eyes that allow the rover to see in 3D. On the top of the mast is the supercam. The supercam has a laser mounted on it that can shoot at rocks to vaporize them and analyze the minerals within. On the front and the back are two bays of HazCams. These HazCams allow the rover to identify things like large rocks or ditches that could get the rover stuck. It also has several cameras on the robotic arm itself. These cameras will help it identify places to drill and take a look at the samples it's collecting. Located on the end of this long arm is the coring drill. This coring drill will allow the rover to dig into the Martian surface to retrieve rock samples from deep underneath. These rock samples will be collected on board and analyzed. After the analysis is complete, the rock samples will be dropped on the surface, awaiting to be collected by a future mission, which will hopefully return them to Earth. This rover has two microphones attached to it. For the first time ever, we'll be able to hear Mars. The Mars rover takes an incredible amount of power and has to keep itself warm in the frigid Martian environment. In order to do this, it's powered by plutonium.
Plutonium, wait a minute. Are you telling me that this sucker is nuclear?
Sticking out the rear end of the Martian rover is a nuclear reactor. This nuclear reactor should last upwards of 14 years, giving the rover enough power to complete its missions and to keep its internal components protected against the extreme cold of the Martian environment. Underneath the rover is one last surprise. The Martian rover is carrying inside it the first ever Martian drone. The drone's name is Ingenuity. This helicopter-style drone will allow for the first ever flight on the Martian surface. While this drone may look simple, the ability to fly on Mars will allow us to survey miles beyond what any rover could pull off. The Mars rover is to date the most sophisticated piece of technology landing on the Martian surface. With all its components together, it should be able to collect materials and run scientific tests for upwards of 14 years.